Sorry about that. So let me start recording. So first of all, we are going to start chapter 7 today. But as you know, as everybody know, most people already started 7 long time ago. Okay, because you guys are super fast. So last time I make the final project open, right? And the thing is that for chapter 7, the homework will be due the last day of the April, which is April 30th. So today is 11. So definitely, we definitely can finish the chapter 7 by in 20 days, right? We still have time to do. So I made chapter 8 available. That is actual credit. Okay. So for chapter 8, it is only for chapter project. So you don't have to do case project. Now, whoever finished chapter 8, I give you actual. I will add actual 8 point, actual 10 points towards your grades. Okay. Also, the final. Okay. So the both final and module 8 will be due the end of the semester, because we meet every Monday and Wednesday. So for us, our last day of school, our last day of class will be May 16th. So May 16th, you have to finish module 8, which is not required. Okay, I want to let you guys know it is not required. So you don't feel any pressure. Of course, if we have time, we're gonna do the extra chapter 8 together. As I mentioned before, now in this semester, I'm gonna try to cover chapter 8, and the next semester I'm gonna try again. So if we can cover chapter 8 within this 2 semesters, then the third semester, starting from the third semester, I'm gonna make it a requirement instead of actual credit. So that is point. So because I think like from what I saw this semester, now we have plenty of time, because in the past 2 years when I taught this class, it's always online and remote. So this is like finally we come back to face-to-face since 2020, since 2020 spring, right? So I can see your speed, because actually, to be honest, some of my students can finish everything at the beginning of April. So I think during the pandemic time, 2 years ago, way back, I have students submit everything, including the final project, in the first week of April. So she get A, I get quite early. But anyway, the point is, we have make the chapter 7 available, and also the final project available. So for the final project, I print out a list for you guys last time. And for my online students, you can print the requirement yourself. So once you finish chapter 7, now you will be able to do all this project. Okay, so it will have it has 6 points, 6 things inside of your rubric. First is a splash, which is 5 points. The mainframe, 20 points. Error message, 20 points. If else statement for 20 points. And a loop, at least one loop. Loop is 20 points. And then the correct logic, syntax, and documentation, 15 points. So together it's 100 points. And if you look at the final folder, we do have some suggestions, and also you can improve your midterm project to make it as a final project. Okay, so you can add your own content into your midterm project, or if you want to challenge yourself, you can just create another one. Doesn't matter, as long as your final project include those stuff. Okay, including those stuff. Okay, but this is my new computer, so I think most of the content on my other computer, my personal computer, will not show up. Okay, this is a school computer they just gave me last time, but without a mouse. So I'm gonna have to require a mouse. Anyway, so that is a rubric, right? That is a rubric. Okay, I want to show you. What's wrong with it? I'm not used to have use just the cursor on my. What is wrong with it doesn't share my screen? What is wrong with this? It's nice. Okay. Let me share screen. Okay. What's wrong with, okay. What is wrong with my computer? If it doesn't share, I guess, what is wrong with this? Okay. Well, if I cannot use, I have to use this one instead. What is wrong with this? Take out a mouse. Can I take a mouse from the computer? Something wrong with the new computer. It doesn't let me share screen. So what is the point to? Sorry about this, this whole thing. What is wrong with this? Stop sharing. Stop sharing. What?
I would just use Task Manager and force quit Zoom.
No, I just want to share my rubric, but somehow you can see I try to click that, it doesn't work. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. Just
Are you left clicking or right clicking? No, because like on the touchpad, it's easy to right click this out.
get a new one. I mean, like create a new one. Doesn't matter which one.
Why is it that when it says underneath too, there's include a menu and there's the text?
I should have a manual.
Oh,
Yes.
you should have.
Yes, because chapter 6 we have manuals, right? So we actually the thing is it wants you to have everything we learn from chapter 2 to chapter 7. Okay, so which means right after you finish this scoop dive, now you will be able to start to do your final project. And now since we are way early, that is why I think in this semester everybody will be able to do the chapter 8. So I'm going to start chapter 8 right after we finish the 7. Okay, so now we still will have time to do your final project. The last week of the semester, now I will give you at least 2 full classes to do the hands-on work for the final project. So you don't have to worry about anything, okay? But for the final project, it is due on May 16, okay? So let's start class. Not this one. This one. Okay. Okay, so chapter 7. Now you're gonna add procedures. Now, and also you're gonna have the splash screen. Okay, that's 2 things. Keep in mind that your final project, you should have a splash screen. Now, we know if you just go over the end of the chapter, it will give you every single steps, but you have to understand what is going on. Okay, like the chapter 6, we learn loop. The chapter 5, we learn if else statement. Now in the chapter 7, we're gonna learn procedures. What is a procedure? Now, if you and this idea is very important because in the future, if you learn Java or other languages, now you have the same idea. It is like if you have a huge project, now you always have to break down into pieces. And for each small piece, you only concentrate on one task, on one mini task that is called procedure. So for each procedure, it's only for one small task. If you write like 2 or 3 tasks together in a procedure, then it will be harder for you to find mistakes. Okay, so in order to make our debug easier, we always want to have one procedure for one task only. Okay, now if you look at the book, now in today's work, today's job, we are going to just create a user interface. Okay, because we know we have a plenty of time. So today we're gonna have to create a user interface, and on Wednesday we're gonna write the code. Now for chapter 7, the most important idea is procedure, or in some program languages it's called functions, or some language called as a method. So method, procedure, function is the same idea. Okay, which means we have this idea from mathematics. That is why, if you want to become a computer programmer, now you're gonna have to learn a lot of math. So same logic. Okay, like if you have a linear function, right? If you have what other functions? Quadratic functions. If I have fx is the name of function, right? And you have this like whatever the expression you have, like 3x plus 5, right? If you see 3x plus 5, that is a linear function. For every x value, you have a different y value. The same idea. Now, when we write our procedures in VB, our functions in C++, or method in Java, now you're going to create some variables and also create some input. And based on this input, you have some output. But not all functions need input and output, because a lot of functions, they do not provide, do not require any input. They just sometimes simply provide or display a message. Okay, this is very common in high-level languages. Your functions only work for display message or display manuals. Okay, so some functions or procedures do not require input, or sometimes just doesn't have output either. Just like what you say, but it will do some actions like print message, or calculate some content, like calculate the price of apple, or calculate the area of this room, or calculate how many paint we need to use to paint this room. So we can do that. So you can see here in page 1, okay, it gives you definition of procedure. So as you can see here, previously we only have simple actions, but in real life it's always complicated. Okay, very complicated. So it is once, as you can see here, as application grows, it is important to divide each fact of the problem into separate section of code called procedure. Okay, by using the principle of divide and conquer to create a procedure, the code become more manageable. So in the past, how many projects, like 12 projects you have done in the past? Now we did have procedures inside of the coding, but it's always like the system generated, right? If you double click this button, it will create the shell of the procedure. If we double click the manual, it creates for you. We did not really create a procedure all by ourselves, right? The system created. Double click, you add something. So in chapter 7, we're gonna start to create our own procedure. Okay. Now let's see. So that is one of the important content in our chapter 7. And also in chapter 7, we're gonna have to learn as you can see here, this is like a general instruction, introduction for, oh, I don't like this whole thing. This is out of control without a mouse. So this is a chapter project. Okay. So suppose we have, we're gonna do the diving. Okay. As you can see here, this is like a description. So in the future, if you write your own program, you can write this description in a Word document. Okay, it's very common. You know, if you open a VB project, within the VB project, the user, the creator, have a Word document inside. Or if you don't want to write a separate Word document, you put this information inside of your, what do you say, inside of your comments. Okay, so you can see here, the purpose of it is an international company could request a Windows application. We use VB to do that. Provide pricing information for scuba diving expeditions. The Oceanic, this is the company, okay, the name, promise to provide the highest reef fish diversity in the world. So travel to this place, we have several choices. So later on, we're going to use combo box to help us to do that. We have Australia, Belize, Fiji, which you scuba dive, and of course they have different price. In the most beautiful reef in the planet, your dive team will can consist of 2 to 6 PADI certified scuba divers. So we have displayed the price. So in this chapter project, you can see, first of all, you're going to choose the location. Now after you choose the location, now for each location, you have the choices, right? You have Australia, Belize, Fiji, and then for each location, you do have different type of dive. Now for different type of dive, you have different hours, right? So like the Great Barrier Reef, you have 8 hours. The cost is much. Now if you have Tiger Shark, it's 6 hours. This is the price of this. As you can see, if you try to create a project, look like this. As you can see here, you do have a splash screen. Okay, now after splash screen close, the mainframe of the application will open and ask you to create a dive location. Now when the user clicks these choices, and it will give you, see here, pop up this, how many members in your team, because for each certain diving, it has 2 or 4. Right, you can have the choice, and then you can click the button, it will calculate. So this is the result. The result is displayed right here. Okay, so that is this chapter 7. So I think next Wednesday we're gonna finish the whole project. So we can have four classes to do this. You know, we have plenty of time. Okay, so next Wednesday we should finish that, which is let me see the timing. The next Wednesday will be 20th, so we will be able to finish that. Then on the 25th we have coding time. Then 27 we start chapter 8. Okay, so that is the plan. Okay, so you get the idea. Now in order to do this question, as you know, we can just for today's class we'll just do the user interface. So we can, if you have your book, you can turn the page to page 421. So for the first few part, we can just look at the 421 to see the steps to create a user interface. So later on for next class, we can start to do our coding part. What's wrong with this? 421. Okay, so we're gonna start to do that. So I have asked the IT install the Visual Studio 2019 to this computer. So I now have the same computer, I mean same VB in this computer, but the one I graded homework is most likely in my personal computer, which I'm used to this. Okay. But according to them, this is, I don't know. Actually, this is not as good as my own because mine is game computer. This one is not. So let's see this one. So we create Visual Studio. So you will see this get started, right? So you're gonna see that. So I'm gonna create a new project. And when you create a new project, you're gonna, it's supposed to be, if you first time use that, it's supposed to be like a all program, right? Make sure you choose Visual Basic. Now, once you choose Visual Basic, you scroll down. You make sure you have the because right here you have the Windows Form app, right? And if you scroll down, you're gonna see another one. This one. So then we're gonna choose this one, Windows Form app .NET framework. So we choose this one, click next. Okay. Okay, so we're gonna give a name. I guess the reason I don't like this computer is like this whole touchpad. I don't know which part is left, which part is right. This give me headaches. So we're gonna have the Windows Form app, and we name this project as, give a name, Scuba X. Okay, why have a dot here? Not okay. Editions. Okay, so we have this. I'm gonna choose a location. I'm gonna put on my desktop. So later I'm gonna create a Dropbox. I mean, some desktop. I'm gonna put it right here. Okay, on my desktop. So this is on my desktop. You know what? I'm gonna have to create a. You know what? I'm gonna create a folder here. It's for spring 22. I'm gonna create a box folder here, and I'm gonna create another folder. I'm gonna create a folder on my desktop, so it will be easy to control it. This one I can name as a CSP 125. Okay, so I'm gonna move my folder, my project right here. Okay. Back to here. So, okay, I'm gonna make sure. Okay, what's wrong with this? I'm gonna make sure I select the right location. I'm gonna change location to the folder I just created. So CSP 121, this one. Okay, so I'm gonna select this. So right here, you select this. Okay, scuba expeditions, and I have this location. So I always strongly suggest you to put this project in a certain location so you know where it is. Okay, so we create, click create. Okay, so we have this. In a second. Oh, this is what we have. Okay, this is what we have. Now, the next part is we add a new item to the project. So we're gonna add a splash screen. Okay, splash screen is like this, just to display for a few minutes, then it disappear. Now we have this form 1. Okay, first thing we have to rename it. So right click your mouse and click rename. We're gonna name it as FRM .baby. Click enter. So you're renaming a file. I like to perform a rename in this project of all reference. Yes. So you have this scuba.baby, and then later on, I'm going to change the title. I mean, like text, right? So this is what we have for the first step. Now, step 2, we're going to add a new item to the project, which is the splash screen. So we go to the project. Okay, click the project right here. And when under the project, we have the add new item. You will see add new item. Okay. Now, when you have the add new item, you will have this window pop up. Okay, you have this window pop up. So we're gonna scroll down to find the splash screen. So we're gonna scroll down. This one. Okay, then click it. So now you have a splash screen 1. Okay. So click the left side to select it. Okay, what happened? I have a combo box here. Did I accidentally do anything? So I'm gonna undo this. So we click this one. Now we select this. A screen, a splash screen dot VB. That is a splash screen. And then we have to right click the application name. Okay, right click the application name, the scuba dive in the Solution Explorer. So we're gonna have to do that. So after we have the screen, the next step is you right click your mouse on the scuba dive project on your Solution Explorer. So you see, if you right click your mouse, it will pop up this choice, and you have to choose the properties. On the last one, properties. Okay, then right click your mouse on this the whole project. So you go to the properties, and you have this window come out. Okay, scuba dive. So what we should do is click the property and on the application tab, and then we're gonna choose, scroll down. Wait a second. We're gonna see the splash screen right here is none. So we click that. We're gonna choose splash screen 1 at the right point right here. So at the end, so once you right click your mouse on the scuba expectation, right click your mouse on that. At the end of this pop-up menu, now you're gonna see this property. Now you click at the end of the property, you will see the splash screen choice. By default, it's not. So you're gonna have to change to splash screen 1. Okay. We have that. Now we click OK. Do we have OK? No, if I don't have OK, just move on to the next. We don't have OK. So we can go to the splash screen 1. Okay. Okay, to change the text of the splash screen, click the assembly information on the, oh, I stay here. We're gonna stay here, stay in the application here. Okay. To change the text of the splash screen, click the assembly information button in the project design window. This is project design window. Click the assembly information right here. And you set the assembly information. So in the, so we're gonna go to the figure 7-11. So we're gonna type the information on this small table. Okay, so this table is created when you click assembly information, which is right here. Okay, when you click this assembly information, and you're gonna have this window come out. Now we're gonna type the information to this. Now we're gonna have to see based on the information on page 389. So we have this copyright, assembly version, and neutral language. Okay, so it seems like all we have to do is copyright change from 2022 to 2018. That's the only thing we have to change. Okay, and wait a second. So we have this, we click OK. Also, by the way, since we are here already, so we click the start up from Scuba. Okay, don't forget to change this part either. So since we're in the application of the VB. Now, let's see. So we have changed the assembly information. And now we are done with this part. Okay, we're done with the application information. Now we're back to splash screen. So in the applications, we did 3 changes. The first change, we select from here, right? Splash screen 1. Second change, we click assembly information. We change from 2022 to 2018 right here. Also, the third change, we make the start from form scuba. So that is 3 change we did. After we change 3 change, we move on to the next step. We go to here, back to the screen. The next part is to customize the picture. Click the background on the left. On the left side of your splash screen, and then select the background image. Okay, I'm gonna drag it down. Okay, so I'm gonna drag it down. We have to see the back, not drag it down. If I put it in the alphabetic order, it should be background image right here. Okay, you click the dot. So we have this. Now you're gonna choose import. Import from where? From your data file. So click it, import. Now we're gonna go to the data file I downloaded from the Blackboard. So should be right here. Chapter 7. Okay, so you can see this is the image you have. So everybody should have this. So click that, and we click OK. So now we have this. So we select the image. So this is what we have. So it look like this. Now this is step 1. We at this point we finish this the splash screen. So of course later on we're gonna change this later. The next part, we're gonna resize. We're gonna go to the form scuba. So we're gonna go to here. Okay. Now, first of all, it tells you to resize the Windows form object, form scuba to 870 to 490. So we click this one. So size right here. Okay, we select this. Make sure we select the form scuba.vb, and we change the size. Excellent. Set 870, 490. Okay, so it looks like this. Okay, doesn't really change much, right? So the width is 870 and the height is 490. Now we have this, and we change the size. Okay, make sure you change. So right after I add the screen into my splash screen. So I'm done with the splash screen. So next part is just to design the form scuba. Okay, so we change the size to 870 to 490. Okay, so this is what we have. Now the next part is to assign a title to the form object. So right now, as you can see, the title probably is form 1. So we go to the text property. Wait a second. So instead of form 1, we choose the text property to be the company's name, Oceanic Scuba Expeditions. Okay, change the title, and then you click OK. And then you can see the title change. Okay, so we have this. Next part is we're going to add the background image. Okay, with the Windows Form object selected, which is this one selected, we click for the background image. Okay, so go to the background image right here. Click this bar and choose the local resource, import. Same idea, same one. So we have scuba dive. Click OK. So we have this, and once we finish, we go to the background image layout, the one right here, under it, and choose stretch. So it looks like this, stretch like this. That is the background image for the baby. So this one and the splash screen looks at this point very similar, right? Now the next part is add a panel object. Okay. So after we stretch the background image, the next part is we add a panel object. Okay, drag the panel object from the toolbox. Which is right here. From the container or category toolbox, which is not covered by the image, resize the panel. So we're gonna go to here, drag it right here. This is what do you say? The panel object. Now we resize the panel object to cover the white space where no image is displayed. Okay, so we're gonna drag it. Take time to drag it. Okay, so we have this. Let's cover a little bit. Okay, so we have this. And if you want, I can move a little bit to that. Okay, so this panel, you add a panel right here. Give a minute to do so. You add a panel and add the panel into this empty space, and you drag it to cover whatever left from the picture. So this is what you have. So add a panel object. Now after we resize to cover whatever we left from the picture, we're gonna change the background color to transparent. So let's just, it might take a while to resize the panel. Oh, you did that already, Hunter, which is good. So we click the panel object, make sure it's selected. Now we're gonna change the back color right here. This is a property in the bottom. So it's right now it's a control, sorry, back color. You click that. You're gonna choose, I think, under the web. So transparent. Okay. Under the web category, you should have a transparent. So we see, and the book tell you, make the panel transparent. We allow all objects placed in the Windows Form object to be visible, but allow you to center the align object within the panel object instead of the entire one. So we have this one. So far we have this. Now we're gonna do the next part. Add a label. Okay. I'm gonna make sure I save it. I'm gonna save everything first. So next part is add a label. So from the toolbox, I'm gonna drag my label to here. Label 1. Okay. Now this is called label 1, right? So you're gonna have to change the name and change the text. So once you drag the label to this, now you go to the property window. First of all, you change the name. So if I put my properties in the alphabetic order, now the name should be on the top. Yes.
It's not letting me move my label.
You drag from
Yeah,
the.
I drag it from there and you can click on the top left of the panel.
You can drag anywhere. See here.
There's no, I can drag it, but every time I let go of it, it goes right back to the top of the panel.
What is the panel?
This kind of thing right here is a thing. Yeah.
See here, if you have a panel, you're supposed to be able to move anywhere you want. See on my screen, I can move anywhere you want.
Well, when you click on your panel, what does it say for the name?
A panel?
Yeah, because mine
The
says,
panel 1. I think it's panel 1.
oh, I probably have a long panel.
So I drag the panel over there and I resize to cover the half of it. And I name it panel. I mean, I didn't change the name. The name still be panel 1. Yes. You have the panel 1, you change it. So we can resize later. Just add the label now. Yes. Add label now. See, I changed the panel to transparent. Change the panel back color to transparent now. I mean, panel. You see here, my panel is transparent.
Yeah.
Now we have the next one. We're gonna change the name. If you display your property on the alphabetic order, so your name should be on the top. So we're gonna change the name instead of a label. Let's make sure you click the label. Label instead of label 1, we're gonna change as label LBL title. Okay. This is LBL title. This is the name, which is later on if you want to make it a display or what, just this refers its name. But the content they display on label will be text. So go to the text property. But instead of label 1 on the text property, I have to change to the name of this company, Oceanic Scuba Expeditions. Okay. Oceanic scuba expeditions. So you click enter. So you see the name was display like this. I'm gonna change font and the size. I'm gonna change the font and size. I'm gonna now if you type that, we're gonna change the font and size. So font, wait a second. In alphabetic order, it's this one. The font should be stencil, so I can type S, stencil. You can even type the name, so it will automatically appear, just like you do that on a Word document. Okay, you have so many font, so that's the one you have. Now, stencil 22. The size is 22. The font style doesn't say anything, just we make it regular. So we have this, a stencil 22.
I don't have it on my computer, so maybe I could put one.
Seriously? Now just
Yeah.
type STEN. You
Yeah,
type
I
it,
did
type the
that.
name.
Doesn't coming up when I type STE.
Yeah,
Oh.
his virtual machine doesn't have all the fonts.
Oh, you have a Apple.
Yeah.
That is why. Okay. Use any other font. So we have this, like make size 22. Make it look like this. Okay. So once you select the ocean scuba, so you're gonna move a little bit. As you can see, it's too big. It's too big. Okay. So which means now we're gonna have to change later. Okay. So this is the name of this label. It's too big to. We're gonna do it later, but we're gonna fix the color first. Okay. So this is the name Oceanic Scuba Dive. 22. That's too big. Now we're gonna have to change the color, the font color. After you have that, we're gonna go to the font color, full color, which is this one. Okay. Go to the right here. Oh, what's wrong with this? I have to click.
Actually, right, you have to click on like the left of it.
Yeah, I'm not used to this. Next time I'm gonna bring on my mouse. So we have this font color to midnight blue in the web. So go to the web, and you're gonna find midnight blue. Right here, I find midnight blue. So you have to find midnight blue. It's look like this. Okay. So you know, maybe I should. I'm gonna make it the. Since it's too big, that's why I didn't show the whole content. Okay, so we have this. Make it midnight blue. Okay, you guys, when you choose 22, is your label is this big?
Yeah.
So I guess we're gonna have to make the window bigger.
You can make the text box smaller.
Or we can make the font smaller if we want, right? We can either make the font smaller or make the window bigger. So I'm gonna make the window bigger probably. To contain everything, but if you make the window bigger, it's like everything will be changed. You know what? Still too big. So what we can do is we can change the size. I'm gonna change the size instead. I'm gonna undo this and change the size of font because it's too big. This is just way too big. I'm gonna make it 18. Let me see if I make it 18. Will it small enough? Okay, it looks much better for the 18. Let's see, make it the 16. So I'm gonna make it even smaller, so it contents inside of this. Okay, I'll make it a 16, so that in the 16 look like this. But if you don't want to change the font, if you want to make it 16, you can just make the whole screen bigger. But I found out it's probably you have to change a lot. So let's just make it small. It is make the size smaller. Okay, so later on we can, if we have enough space, we can change the font back, maybe like from 16 back to 18 or 20. So at this point we have this that tells you we have the location. It tells you location. So we go to the location label. Wait a second. Right here, the location at this point I have 322. Now it want to be at 217. Also look like this, 217. Then we're gonna have to add a combo box. So after we change the label, we're gonna add a combo box. So we're going to go to here. Under the from the toolbox, we're gonna have drag a combo box. Put it right here. And it's also give you a location for the combo box. Now, the location of this combo box, I'm gonna go to the combo location first. Change the location. So the location is 130 and 72. So this is location 130, 72, and you have to change the name and change the property and change the size. So we're gonna, first of all, after you change the location to 130, 72, you move up. So you can change the name of the combo box. So the combo box is prefix is a CBO. So that type CBO for the combo box. CBO location. It's like you select, you can have this pop-up menu. You select the choices. So we have this CBO location. Now we have the, after we change the name, we're gonna go to the text property. So under the T, I'm gonna type select location. Select location. Column. Okay, select location. So it looks like this, select location. And we're gonna change the size to size 14. So after we finish this, we move up to font size. Go to the font place. Go to the font. The font should be size 14. Okay, that's the only thing you change to the size 14. So you click OK. Once you change the size to 14, you click OK. Okay, oh, it's too big, still so big. Okay, so I'm gonna have to move a little bit. So later I'm gonna change a little bit. Select location. I guess since my title becomes smaller, I should have this change this font smaller. So we're gonna do it later. So next one is we're gonna add the locations. We have choices. So we go to the items property. So right after you finish this, right after you finish the font, you go to the items. As you can see here, it's a collection. This is items property right here. Okay, so you click this dot dot dot. So it will pop up this screen. So we're gonna type our 3 choices here. The first one is Australia. I'll click enter. Go to the next one. Click enter. Go to the next one. You see? After you finish, you click OK. And then let's just type it. So if you finish typing, you can click OK. So this one is done. So we're gonna move on to next. Next one, we're gonna add another label to display number of teams. So we're gonna drag another label. Move it here. We're gonna add another label here. Now we're gonna place its location. It tells you the location should be 74118. So this label, we have the location. Okay, L location. Right here, the location, we're gonna change the location first. The location is 74,118. Yeah, here's the location. You can see here, we change the location to 74,118. Okay. Then we change text property. After we change this, we go to the text property. From label 1, right? By default, label 1. We're gonna change to number to dive team. Number in dive team. Okay, number inside dive team. Then you go to the top. Because we don't want to label 1, right? So just change the name from label 1 to LBL team. LBL team. Then we change the font size to 16. So we go to the font size. Font. Right here, clicks. Doesn't ask you to change the font, right? So the font style don't change, only change the size to 16. Oh, it will be huge. Okay, just change to 16. Click OK. So it will have this. That means I probably should change this one to a bigger one. Okay, so anyway, let's see. I probably should change this one, the title, instead of 16, make it 18 should be. Okay, so you guys change this to 16 as the question tell you. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna change my font, make it bigger. So if I make it 18, okay, I'm gonna make it a little bit big. Okay. So I'm gonna make this big. Okay. Okay, so it looks like this. A little bit better, but still okay. So maybe I should maybe later on I will make it as 22, or maybe we make it as this one, make it smaller. Okay, either way, this 18 is not good. This 18 is not good. Still not enough. So anyways, we have this, so you can change the size, whatever you want, okay? The font is not important. The font size is not important. Now we have this. Yeah, I think I type the div. I think I typed the div div. What is wrong with? Yeah, lowercase I. Okay. We have this. Now we're gonna make a text box. Okay, because you want to add people to add how many members in the team. So next content, next object we add from the toolbox is text box, which only for one digit. So let's go to the toolbox and choose the text box. You know, the toolbox is also alphabetic order. So in the text box, I move it right here. Okay, make it smaller if you want. So we have this text box here. So it tells you, first of all, you have a text box right here, right? It tells you to check. Let's just change the name first. Okay, let's change the name first. Change the name of the text box to txt, right? Wait a second. Txt team. And then we're gonna change the font to 16. Font is 16, exact same size as the label. Okay, you want to display the same size. So we have this. You can drag it right here. So in the past, when we have a text box, a lot of people did not make the content in the text box the size match the outside label. Okay, it's a common mistake. We have this one. Okay. And we can resize to let it tell you to fix it approximately 6 number. Do you still remember how to resize? But first of all, what we can do is we go to text, we can go to the text property, right? And we type 88. You can type 88 inside because 8 is the widest digit. So we type 88. So it displays as 88. So we're gonna drag, right? We're gonna drag to make sure it only display 88 and nothing else, no empty space, because we only have 1 or 2 digit. Okay, so we resize it. Now after we resize, display 88. So 88 is useless, so you can delete it from the text. Okay, you can delete it out. But it only show you, okay, I have now my text box have 2-digit place. Okay, so we have this. Now, before we move on to next, it tells you we want a location in this 316 to 316.115. So we're gonna go to location. So the size of the location should be 316, 115. Okay, so we're done with this text box. As you can see how easy it is, right? The next part, we're gonna add another label. Okay, because the result should look like the one we have on our book, which is, I'm gonna go back to the beginning of page. What is this? The beginning of this chapter page. Page 394. Oh, it's actually not 394. 386. So I'm gonna see 386. What's wrong with this? 386. So you can see what we want is we want our project, our VB contains this. So you can see we have a label, we have a combo box, we have a label, we have a text box, and now we're gonna have another label, and we have a school button again, list box, and 2 buttons. Okay, that's the thing we should have. So we're gonna go back to the VB. Okay, so next thing we're gonna add another label to match our result. So we're gonna have another label. Drag a label again. So we drag a label right here. So you see here, automatically still label 1, right? So what we will do is we're gonna change the name, change the size, change the location, and change the content. This label. Label just display the things, right? Everything we display on our VB screen, user interface, should be always string type. So we have this label. We're gonna first of all change the name. The name will be LBL, label LBL select. LBL select. Then we scroll down to see what is the first one we're supposed to change. We have to change the size to 16. We have to change the location. We have to change the text. The first one I think should be font size. So go to the font, change the size to 16 to match the rest of it. Change to 16. Okay. Then we have to change what's the next one? The location probably L. Alphabetic order should be L. So we're gonna just go to location here. To be 116, you want the location to be 116,169, which is right here. Okay, that's the location. Okay, 116,169. Now, after you change the location, now it's time for you to type the content, what you want to display on the label, right, on the text property. So the location, we have 116,169. So then next we go to the text property. Instead of label 1, what's wrong with this? Instead of label 1, I'm gonna type as select scuba dive with a column. Okay, it's too big. So why they want to be here? Result is here. Let me see, 123,686. Right here. Yes, should make sense. So right now we have this. So we change the location, we change the name, we change the size to 16, and we change the title is select scuba dive. Okay, so this is this part. The next part is, I guess we have to make the screen bigger again because we do have a list box and everything and a button. So we're gonna resize it later. The next one is we have to add a list box, okay, which we learned from chapter 6. So next part is we're gonna drag the list box from the toolbox right here, drag it, put it right here. It's a list box. As you can see, by default, the name is list box 1. So we're gonna change the name, change location, and change the size of font. Okay. So once you drag the toolbox from the drag the list box from toolbox window, I'm gonna change. Okay, I'm gonna start from the alphabetic order so I don't have to scroll up and down. So first of all, you change the name, change location, and change the size. Okay, so we have this. So right now we have this. We set up label 1. you know, if you make the property display in the alphabetic order by selecting the second icon here, your property will be in alphabetic order. So I'm going to change my name. The name will be on the top. What's wrong? Okay. So we have this. So we have to change the list box name. LST dive. List dive. That's the name. Then once you change the name, you scroll down. So we're gonna have to change the location and then change the font. So we're gonna change the font size first. Okay. So click the font. The font should be 14. Okay, it's not 16 anymore. If it's 16, then we have to resize the window immediately. So make the size to be 16. Then we have to change the location to 123 and 1797. So we're gonna change location, go down. It's 123, comma 197. Okay, so that is there here. Okay. Okay, so we have the list box open. Okay, so this list box ready. Next thing is we're gonna add the button. So we're gonna have the button. We're gonna add a button in 2 buttons right here. Okay. So after we change the name, which is to LST dive, location, and font size to 14. Now we are done with this part. The next part is we're gonna add 2 buttons to make some action, right? Buttons always make actions. So let's move on to we're gonna scroll up to the toolbox to find the button here. So this button here, we're gonna drag 1 button to here. This is button 1. Okay, the button, you drag a button. Now you're gonna change the name. So this is button 1. Instead of button 1, we're gonna rename it. So we're gonna change the name instead of button 1. For what reason?
I have to pick up my sister.
Okay. So we have this one. BTN dive cost. So this one name is dive BTN dive cost. Okay, this is name. The name of this okay, the name of this button. Okay, so we have this one, and we have to change a lot actually. After we change this, now we're gonna go to text property. Let's scroll down first. Okay, let's go to the back color. Let's do the back color first. So back color, instead of transparent, we're gonna click this button. We're gonna change the back color to midnight blue. So under the web, instead of transparent, we're gonna change to midnight blue, which is almost the end. Midnight blue. Okay, so midnight blue, and then we go to the font color. You want the white font, white text on this blue background. So the back color is midnight blue. Then we go to the font color. I didn't ask you to change the font color size. So font size don't have to change, but the font color, which is right here, should change to web, should be white. Font color should be white. You choose any white here, right here. Under the web, you should see white. So you will have a dark blue background color with the white font. and we're gonna see this. So this is what we have. Of course, we're gonna change the size. We're gonna change size later after we type this. Okay, if you want, you can change the size. I want to make it bigger, slice deep, slice bigger. So we have this. Now we're gonna have to change the, after we change the font color, we change the background color, but change the font color, which font color is the font color. We're gonna have the size location. Location instead of this size location where we just drag. The location of the button should be 41, 293. So that is the location. But after we have the locations, we can change the font, the text property, right? Instead of bottom one, nobody wants bottom one, right? So after we have the location to 41, 293, we can change the text instead of bottom one, the text should be dive cost. Click enter, dive cost. Okay, it's too small. So later we probably should have changed it. Let me see, it's page 386. This is so small. It should be the same size as 16. Okay. So we have this dive cost, it's too small. So let's do that. So this is the first button. Okay. So we're gonna have to create another. So if we want, we should change the size right now. If I want, I'm gonna change the size because the font is too small. So I'm gonna make it size 14 at this point. I'm gonna make it size 14 at this point. So it's this one. Dive cost. Okay, it's big enough. So I make the size to become font size to become 14. So it's a little bit bigger because on the book, if you see the book, now you can see here, this should be this size. So I think probably later on you're going to change to 16. I'm not sure. Although the book didn't tell us to change to 16, they should. I think we should change to 16. Okay. So anyway, we have this. Now back to the this one. Okay, we have this. We have one button already, so we're gonna make another button. So drag another button right here. This is a button. This is the button one again because we change the name, right? So we're gonna change the name, change the text, change the font color, change the background color, right? To match the dive cost. So we're gonna do, let's go to the top, change the name. Instead of button one, it should be BTN, right? Lowercase btn. This is a clear button. Okay, so it's like a BTN clear. BTN clear. Now BTN clear. Now we're gonna go down. We're gonna do the same thing. We're gonna change the back color to midnight blue. So instead of transparent, we scroll down almost to the end. It's almost the end. So we're gonna go to midnight blue. Then we go down. So we go down. Wait a second. So we're gonna change the font. I'm gonna change the font size to be 14. And for color to be white under the web, right? Because that's the same thing you do for the previous one, make it white. Okay, so far you don't see anything. Now we're gonna just on the text part. The location, we're gonna change location. The location should be, okay, very close to this. 233, comma, 293. Okay, we have the location at this point. So later on, we can just make it like a line, same level, a line horizontally. We can do that later. Okay, so we have this. We change the location. Next part, we're gonna change the text part here. Instead of button 1, we can make it clear. We can resize to make it display everything. Okay, clear. Now to make, okay, so before we move to everything, or you guys all want to leave, give me 5 minutes. I'm gonna finish this part. Okay, so we can click this, and then we go to this. Keep in mind we have a format button right here, and we can make the same size. So what we can do is after we select dive cost, we hold Control key, select clear. So when you hold Control key, it allows you to select multiple objects. Then you go to the format, go to make same size, both. So make them same size. And also if you want, still back to the format, you want to make them align in the bottom, make them align together, same level. Align is the same, where you want to display. So we have this dive cost. Okay, we have dive cost, we have clear. The next part is we're gonna have to have another label, okay, for the dive trip, display a dive trip, and also another label for the cost. We have 3 more labels actually. Okay, I'll let you go early. So we're gonna add the last label today, and then we're gonna leave the rest of the Wednesday class because I do know some of you guys are ready to go. So I'm gonna just do one more. Okay, this is the last one we're gonna add. Okay, but we do have, a few label come out. So let's drag our label, create the last label here. Label 1. We're gonna add name. Okay, we can change the name. Or if you want, gonna change the name. Name instead of label 1, your name should be LBL Scuba Dive. So this is one part of the result. So after you finish everything, you should have 3 result label. Okay, and then you have to change, after you change scuba LBL Scuba Dive. Now you're gonna change the name, right? LBL Scuba Dive. The next part is you're gonna change to the location. The location you want, instead of 116,360, the size, the location should be 130, 360. Okay, that is the location. Okay, 130, 360. And then, oh, I have to change the font to 16, size 16. Probably too big. I'll make it font to be 14. Okay. So after that, I change the font. Instead of 7 point, I make it, if you want, you can make it 16. I will make it 14, otherwise too big. Okay, I'm gonna make it 14. So for the result of all 3 results, it should be the same size. Okay, make it the same, make it the size. And what is the content? It asks you to type 12x. It's like a placeholder. Okay, so the result will be replaced. I mean, all the 12x will be replaced. So on the text, instead of label 1, you will type 12x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you have 12x. So it's placeholder. So I'm gonna stop it here, and we're gonna continue for next class, okay? As you can see, definitely not enough space, so I'm gonna make my screen, my window bigger, so I can hold another 2 labels.
I think it's because of the scaling.
Ah,
I think it's because of the scaling. Because there's a banner on the top. And I normally have to do like save all and then I click it and it makes it the right scale.
which scale?
Oh,
You
so
start that
restart,
scaling on your main
restart
computer.
Visual Studio with 100%.
And I'll make it the proper size as it can.
See the top?
It says it on the yellow right there.
Oh, yes, yes. this
For
size
some
one.
reason it always starts like off scale.
Yeah,
Okay.
it starts at 125%.
Oh, it restart. I mean,
Yeah, it said to restart it.
but did I save it? I'm not sure. I
You
think,
can- you
oh,
can save
oh,
that.
yes, okay. Thank you.